Aw. First day waking up at 5. Today's the first day that we're trying to wake up like early. We set our alarm for 5. We're gonna try that for a bit just so we can be more productive. And we came down to the seat working because we thought it would be quiet down here, but it's actually pretty loud because they're like cleaning the streets, which is nice. And there's like this family over there being really loud too, so it's still pretty, but it's not quiet.
Maybe you would have to get up even earlier.
Yeah.
To come here.
Maybe.
It would be cool if it was storming.
Oh yeah,
Come
then the
here
organ
when
would
it's
be
storming,
really
yeah.
loud.
You're golden.
Besides being more productive, because we'll have more time during the day, we want to get up earlier because it's cooler at this time. So if we change our schedules to waking up at 5 in the morning, we'll have more time to work when it's not super hot out. So once we're back in the van, it'll be more pleasant. And then this way we'll actually go to bed at a reasonable time, not like 2:30 in the morning. So it's a more natural schedule, I feel like.
Yeah, it is.
So it's better to just wake up when the sun comes up and then go to sleep at a reasonable time. Yeah, I feel fine today. I mean, I'm tired, but I like it. I like the fact that we got up early. So we'll just have to maintain that and see how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. What are you doing there?
Ice.
Oh.
You're funny. It's mocha time.
There you go.
Sleepy?
Sleepy.
It's 10 o'clock, so 12 more hours, maybe. Tripod, not tripoding. I think I'll get a new one once I get a new camera.
It's a good idea.
It's zoomed in all the way. Yeah, it's almost 11 o'clock now, and I filmed like so many different takes trying to do little talking segments into the camera, and it's like really hard for me to talk today, and I think we just realized that maybe it's because I'm tired today because we woke up so early. Yeah, today I just wanted to answer one question. Do we miss anything from having a home base? There are things I miss about having a home base, and I think the main one right now would be having like my own kitchen. When we were living in Dundee, when I moved into Kuba's flat, we had our own little space there. Like we had our own blender, a steamer, and all of our kitchen tools there. So we were able to get into this routine of like breakfast, we'd have smoothies every day. And then for dinner, we would have like steamed veggies and potatoes, something like that. So I do miss having my own kitchen space because I can get used to it. I can set it up the way I want. I can have all of my stuff there. When we move around from flat to flat, the kitchen is different every time and the stuff you have is different. And with the van, we don't have a kitchen space. We have the camping stove and we eat very simply, so we don't need one. But I think I do miss having some type of kitchen setup. Because like yesterday when we cooked that fancy dinner, I enjoy cooking, and when we were living out of flats last year, I would cook every single day. When I was doing recipe posts on the blog and more food photography. So I think having a home base would make those things easier. But I don't feel like we have to have a home base just so I can do those things, because I am happy to be traveling around this way with the van because we have more freedom to go where we want. There's pros and cons to having a home base and to not having one. The one appliance I do wish I could have with me is a Vitamix, and I had one in the States before I moved, and I sold it because I wasn't going to be traveling around Europe lugging this like giant blender around. And it's fine, like I wish I could have one, but I realized that it's just not practical to be moving around this way, traveling nomadically and having a blender like that, so I have to just compromise and be okay with not having a Vitamix in my life so I can travel this way. And I mean, I've survived without it, so I don't really need the thing, but it would just be nice to have in the future. Yeah, other than that, I mean, I think I'm pretty used to not having like a permanent space, because it's been, this December it'll be 3 years now that I haven't had like my flat and my stuff in one location, and I'm okay with that because the benefits to not having one is that we can visit all these places easily. And I do kind of like having a new space every once in a while, because I feel like I've lived in enough flats and seen all these different setups that, like, if I had to create my own space, I have a pretty good idea on like what I would want in that flat or how I would set it up. And you can also like sample different parts of the city and different countries where you would like to live. Like staying in all these different places, it's basically like we're doing research to see where we would like to have a home base someday, like if we wanted to have one. And I do think that'll happen. But that doesn't mean that we're going to stop traveling. It would just be that we have a home base because certain things would be easier, and then we would travel out from there doing trips. Even though there's things like I miss about having a home base, that doesn't mean that the way we travel now is necessarily bad or worse. It's just that it's different. So if we want to travel nomadically and live out of a van, that's just something you have to compromise on. You can't have it both ways, really. Because we could have a home base and do little trips out with the van. That would be a different solution, but it's not fully nomadic all the time. It's not completely free, I guess, because we would have to have a lease somewhere or an apartment somewhere. I'm not saying that that will never happen, but right now we're content with just not being tied down that way. Yeah.
Just bumming around.
Huh?
Just bumming around.
Yeah, just bumming around. Yeah, for real. Another perk of not having a home base is that like you don't have to worry about anything when it comes to the flat. Because like here, when we rent flats on Airbnb, utilities are all included. You don't have to pay anything extra. You just book it and then it's yours for the 2 weeks or 3 months or whatever. But the perk of having a home base is that we could build it exactly the way we want. Because now we've seen all these places, so we know exactly what we want in a space. Like if we had to build a tiny house, it would be like,
it would be like spot on.
And part of me wants to do that someday, build a tiny house, just because it's another construction project.
I definitely want to do it.
Yeah.
It's another thing that you can do.
Yeah, just building something.
And I in general I like just building things, you know.
Yeah.
So
I think everyone notices that.
So it's exciting, like, I don't know, or like having tiny house, or if we chosen to like live on a boat or something, I wouldn't mind just getting an old boat and spend time, even if it takes a year or two,
just building
it up and fixing it up. I would just be really happy to do that.
Yeah. I'm down for that too, because like we have all these different ideas for the future. We're always talking about what's the next project we want to do, because it's fun just to like challenge yourself and build something new. So that'll be down the road, living on a boat or something.